Now from Belarus, Elena Piskun. She won a bronze on the bars here so far. Kathy Johnson, Elena may not have the polish of someone like Shannon Miller, but she sure doesn't hold back on the tricks.
She's got the most difficulty in this routine, but it also makes it very risky.
Oh.
Because it doesn't matter how hard the routine is. If you have a bobble like that, the deduction is taken. She performs, and she's one of the only gymnasts to do so, a full twist on the beam.
Oh.
And it's really hard to land, especially when one foot flips off the beam and you have to pull it back on. She stayed very cool on that. Many gymnasts would have panicked. Very nice double pike. You see a lot of full twisting double backs. You see them in tuck, but it's so pretty to see that tight position. It's hard to land. This, unfortunately, will probably be the difference of a medal. That's a fairly large balance break, and it will be probably 3/10 of a point. Maybe they'll be nice and go 2 to 2.5 tenths. But this is tough. Slightly missed that foot, but she brought it right back on. It'll still be a slight deduction now. Only thing that would make this better if her legs were perfectly together all the way around, and that's being picky.
So the score 9.362 for Elena Piskun is not enough to move her up into the medal rankings. Shannon Miller holds on to first. Anna Maria Piskun and Dina Kochikova are tied for the silver at this point. Now up from Spain, this is Monica Martin. She has a rather unusual mount. She's the national champion from Spain.
It's a half twist onto the beam to a handstand or through a handstand, and then a back hip circle, a move you would normally see on the uneven bars at the beginning level. But on that balance beam, it's very difficult. She had trouble with this pass in the warm-up just prior to competition. See if she can get it straight. She was way off to the side. There you go. Oh, no. Oh. She saved the fall, but that's a big deduction. Neighborhood of 3 to 4 tenths. And unfortunately, then you don't get the credit for the difficulty in terms of bonus. She's the only gymnast of her country to make the finals, and she's made 2 event finals. 2 back handsprings to a double back. Just made it, I think, under that time. It's nice to see a gymnast come back from a disastrous warm-up, and it was disastrous. She missed this way off to the side. Make the correction under pressure when you're most nervous. And the pass she didn't have trouble with, unfortunately, just didn't attack the landing because she was not that far off. But if she felt slightly off, she panicked instead of just locking in and going for it. Watch where she takes off for the dismount. It scared me all week, but finally I've gotten used to it. She's about 1.5 feet from the end of the beam, but she's so powerful, she just jumps hard enough and gets it way out there.
9.162 the score for Monica Martin. 6th place. The next performer is perhaps the only gymnast left in the competition who has a chance to unseed Shannon Miller in the top spot, Oksana Fabrichnova. She's 15 years old from Moscow.
And the key, Bart, will be the starting value of the routine. Shannon has been the only gymnast so far to have a starting value of 10. Everyone else is in the neighborhood of 9.7 to 9.9. That's a big difference. This is a key pass. 3 layout step outs.
Coming into this competition, we expected great things from Fabrichnova. Earlier in the week, she had a fever, and she really hasn't lived up to the expectations that we had for her here.
She did very well in the team competition, but in the all-around, it seemed to fall apart a little for her. Interesting move. As I said earlier, it's nice to see just a change, something out of the ordinary.
She's perhaps one of the most complete gymnasts in the competition, with elegant dance and plenty of power for the acrobatic movements.
Speaking of power, watch the dismount. Full twisting double back.
Oh.
Wow. That's tough.
That's like saying to Shannon Miller and the rest of the competitors, so there.
I'll see your dismount and I'll raise you in with mine. Front tuck on, the same mount we saw from Shannon Miller, except Fabrichnova went right into a jump, trying to fulfill one of her requirements of combining acrobatic and dance elements. This was beautiful. 3 layout step outs. And she was not about to give up anything.
It's like a dart going into a dartboard. Boom. And she's not moving. .9.8 is the score for Oksana Fabrichnova. Not enough to unseed Shannon Miller, who should get the gold here. There's one performer to go from the United States, Marianna Webster. She has a chance at a medal. It's unlikely that it could be a gold. Here is Marianna Webster.
A special note, and I said it was going to come down to bonus points and starting value. Fabrichnova was only scored from a 9.9. She was missing some little requirement, either an extra difficult element for the bonus points or a special requirement on the balance beam, and that makes a huge difference, Bart.
Marianna Webster had a great competition in the team around here. She has a really unusual mount.
I love this mount. Half on,
Oh.
She goes right to that handstand.
That's a gutsy move right at the start. No room for error.
Two layout step outs right here. They were perfect in the warm-ups. I think she wants a medal.
She was doing so well in the all-around competition yesterday until the final event. Had a fall on the floor. Dropped her from perhaps a top 10 position to 15th out of 16 performers here. I asked her about her performance today, and she said, well, I hope I can redeem myself. For all of these Americans, except Shannon Miller, this is their first major international event. I don't think anyone's talking about redeeming anything.
They did a superb job, especially considering it was such a big beat for them, and they had to really handle a lot of nerves. There you go. I tell you, she really wants a big score here. She's not giving anything up. So aggressive on every element.
Keep in mind, anything more than a 9.65 will move her into the bronze medal range.
Beautiful mount. She had to work on that. She was a tiny bit under-rotated, but she just went right into that split position, was able to show it off. And the dismount. Watch her look for this landing. Eyes right there, getting sight of the floor. And that's work.
So with a score of 9.625, just by 25 one-thousandths of a point, Marianna Webster will not get a bronze medal. She'll earn 5th place. Shannon Miller will get the gold. Here are the final results. Shannon Miller the gold, her first gold of these Goodwill games. Oksana Fabrichnova the silver. Anna Maria Piskun and Dina Kochekova will tie for the bronze.